Hello everyone, welcome to this series on literary theory, and in this video we are going to discuss feminist criticism and language. Introduction. One of the most debated issues in feminist criticism is whether language is inherently gendered, specifically if there exists a form of language that is inherently feminine. This debate has deep roots with feminism, with figures like Virginia Woolf suggesting that language use is gendered. In her essay A Room of One's Own, Woolf posits that women, when turning to novel writing, find themselves without a common sentence suited to their needs, as existing prose has been shaped by great male novelists. According to Woolf, male writers have developed a natural prose characterized by carefully balanced rhetorical sequences, a style she terms a man's sentence. Women who attempted to use this style, such as Charlotte Bronte and George Eliot, struggled, whereas Jane Austen developed a different, more suitable sentence structure. Language as a male instrument. The notion that language is inherently masculine is further explored by Dale Spender in her book Man-Made Language 1981. Spender argues that language is not a neutral medium. Instead, it is a tool through which patriarchy is expressed. This idea suggests that women writers are at a disadvantage, having to use a medium designed for male purposes. However, this view is contested within feminist circles. Sandra Gilbert and Susan Gobar, in their essay Sexual Linguistics, Gender, Language, Sexuality, challenge the idea that language is fundamentally male-oriented, opening the door to the possibility of a language that is either neutral or even female-oriented. Écriture féminine, a feminine writing style. French theorists, including Hélène Cixous, have introduced the concept of écriture féminine, a form of writing associated with the feminine, which allows for a free play of meanings within loosened grammatical structures. Cixous, in her essay The Laugh of the Medusa, argues that écriture féminine cannot be theorized or contained within traditional discourse structures. It exists outside the male-dominated symbolic order and is conceived by those who resist authority. Cixous controversially links this style of writing to female physiology, suggesting that women must write through their bodies to create a language that can dismantle patriarchal structures. Criticism of écriture féminine. The concept of écriture féminine raises several issues. Cixous' assertion that the body is immune to social and gender conditioning and can produce a pure essence of femininity is seen by some as essentialist. This essentialism clashes with feminist views that emphasize femininity as a social construct rather than an innate quality. Critics question who these women are who must write through their bodies and why this obligation is imposed upon them. Kristeva's symbolic and semiotic aspects of language. Julia Kristeva offers another perspective on language with her concepts of the symbolic and the semiotic. In her essay The System and the Speaking Subject, Kristeva associates the symbolic with authority, order, and repression, while the semiotic is linked with displacement, slippage, and randomness. The semiotic aspect of language, associated with the maternal and the poetic, allows for a greater range of expression. Although conceptually linked to the feminine, Kristeva's examples of semiotic language often involve male poets. The interplay between the symbolic and the semiotic. Kristeva's theory suggests that the symbolic and semiotic aspects of language are not entirely separate but coexist in all language. The symbolic represents the structured, conscious aspect of language, while the semiotic represents the unconscious improvisational elements. This dynamic interplay disrupts rational structures as seen in dreams, poetry, and modernist writing. Kristeva's ideas draw on Jacques Lacan's distinction between the imagery and the symbolic, with the imagery representing a pre-linguistic stage of unity and the symbolic representing the structured world of language and societal norms. Feminist perspectives on language and gender. Feminists are divided on the implications of a creature feminine and Kristeva's semiotic theory. Some view these ideas as offering a space to imagine alternatives to the current world, particularly for women. Others argue that these theories reinforce traditional gender roles by reserving the rational and structured world for men and relegating women to an emotive, intuitive, and private sphere. This debate makes the question of language one of the most contentious areas in feminist criticism. Conclusion: the issue of whether language is inherently gendered remains a polarizing topic in feminist criticism. While some theorists argue for the existence of a distinctly feminine language or writing style, others challenge these notions as essentialist or reinforcing traditional gender roles. The ongoing debate highlights the complexities of language as both a tool of expression and a reflection of societal power dynamics. As feminist criticism continues to evolve, the question of language and gender will likely remain a central and contentious issue. So this was the discussion on the topic feminism and language. We will meet in the next video and discuss some other topic. Until then, goodbye and thank you.